What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? And welcome to the Aging Potheads. I am your, I am, I am Big Brother Boss, aka the Funky Monk, and Miss Candy is running a little late tonight, but she will be in, y'all. She sends her love. She will be here. Um, she will be here soon. I want to welcome everybody to the show. Um, as always. Before we get started, let's go ahead and blaze, y'all. Whoo, y'all. It has been one hell of a week, y'all. I want to thank you for joining me. Um, what I'm smoking on tonight, let us know what you're smoking and where you're watching from. I am smoking tonight. I am smoking what they call Daydream, aka Sour Kush. It is a crossbreed between OG Kush and Sour Diesel. What I'm giving it here, I am giving it um, 4 blunts. It smokes real nice. It's smooth. It's balanced. It is a sativa. One of the reasons they call it Daydream is because it allows you to get up and work during the day if you need to clean something. Have some work to do and don't really want that large head fog or that real heavy body high. Daydream is the way to go with it, y'all. Um, and what's up, Tony? How you doing, man? Um, well, I love this, y'all. I just bought it. It's a nice thing. Tony, if I ever get over to your spot, I'm gonna bring you some of this. This is actually pretty good. Um, oh man, thank you, bro. It's kind of hard sometimes, man. Let me get the right title up here. That is my bad, y'all. Oh man, it is one of those days, y'all. Here we go. I gave it. I had. I gave it 4 blunts. Um, one of the reasons I did was it tastes a little too earthy for me, but it is nice. If you do smoke it, y'all, I would suggest you smoke it in a. I suggest you smoke it in a hemp wrap or anything other than a regular tobacco or nicotine product, just so you can get the full flavor of it. If you like earth tones and things like that, this will work for you. It's not off-putting, but it's enough for me to notice. So definitely, y'all, when y'all smoke this one, it's good. I believe this is good for your casual smoker. It's an everyday smoke, in my opinion, y'all. It's an everyday smoke. It's easy to roll. It's pretty cool. It's a very good smoke, if you ask me. Now, what I also have here, had to take that puff, y'all. Puff with me. I do have our strain of the week, and our strain of the week is wedding cake. And let me get this review down here, y'all. It's just me on this tonight. Let me go ahead and get this down here. Um, the strain of the week is wedding cake, and when it comes to wedding cake, got my trusty notes here. Uh, and I'm sorry, y'all. I normally have this up already. Um, I'm sorry here. Now, wedding cake has some. It's an indica. It's a it's a very good indica, to tell you the truth. It's a heavy indica. It's one of those things that if you want to sleep, it's a cool thing. There we go. I got my notes up. It is actually a it's a mix between Girl Scout cookies and cherry pie. They call it wedding cake. It's THC. Its THC is up around averages around 25 depending on the batch. It is a very very potent strain. It has a sweet earthy aroma. It's very good. Some of the good effects of it is that it's a euphoric high. So it's gonna make you feel like out of this world. You're gonna go to the moon on this one. Also, it has a relaxing body high. So if you want to sit down in your couch and watch a movie, this is the strain, and that is wedding cake. I do have some of that, Tony. I might bring you on. I'll probably bring you some of this too. I'll bring it in a nug. I won't roll it for you because I know you like to smoke other ways and things like that. So definitely. And Tony says he is smoking on an infused pre-roll in gold dust, and it's sitting at about 48%. Now, for those who don't know about percentages, that's how strong the THC is, and 48% is like 2 hits and you're high. You're done. You are all there and high. And right now I'm getting high off this, and this is one thing I like about it is that it hits pretty fast and it hits pretty hard. Now, we're gonna go to some things that okay, you said you're good with the wraps I use. That's cool. I use the hemp wraps. And they're very good. They don't have any tobacco products in them. This wasn't on my agenda, but I want to talk about it because it does have something to do. At 82 years old, Smokey Robinson, who used to be a singer and songwriter at Motown, he released a new album, y'all. It is called Gasms, and trust me, you're gonna laugh at this one, y'all. And his new album is called Gasm. And let me tell you something. Smokey Robinson, y'all, is 82 years old. He has some of these songs on here. One is called Gasm. And give me a moment, y'all. Let me go ahead and pull up the track list for y'all. At 82 years old, there's titles on this called Gasm. There's one called I Want to Know Your Body. One is called I Keep Calling You, Rolling Around. You Fill Me Up. I Fit in There. These are titles from 82-year-old Smokey Robinson's album, y'all. And to me, it's giving granny panty dropper energy. And when I mean granny, I mean granny. This man is motherfucking 82 years old. He should be, I'm not saying he should be ashamed of himself, because if you can get it on, you can get it on. But I can tell you right now, you should really, Smokey, you should really, really, really be careful. Because if you're making this for the older women, like women in your age group, or you say you're trying to market this to grannies and grandmothers, you better watch out, because grannies nowadays are in their 30s and 40s, and they will break your fucking hip. Bro, you be running around there. And, yeah, he on that Viagra, among other things. Smokey is also has a tour this year. So I'm really hoping to see what that is. I want to see. I'm really curious to see how Smokey gonna get down on that. He's going on tour. I think if he comes here to Vegas, I'm gonna go see him. I'm not a big Smokey Robinson fan, but if this album, if he gonna be singing songs from this album, it is going to be awesome. I want to hear him sing this. I want to see who he sings it to. Oh, that's gonna be funny as hell. You know, and that's true, Tony. He is keeping it live. He is keeping it live. Um, but most definitely, but when we talk about this, I have a question for y'all. I really do. For those who are watching on Twitter, on YouTube, here on Facebook, I have a question for you folks. And this has to do with music, and that's why I brought this up. Oh, excuse me. Is 90s R&B toxic? You know, I was sitting here high, which I am most of the time, except when I'm working. Oh, man, I didn't let that go out. Hold on. Here we go. What's up, girl?
My late ass. Hi, y'all. My bad. Mm-hmm. I was stuck in some traffic. Waiting on this.
Yeah. But I was just talking about, it wasn't on my list because I had just saw it as I was reading about another artist who's going on tour. I'm not going to mention her name just yet because I'm talking about Smokey Robinson right now.
I know who you talking about.
82-year-old Smokey Robinson released a new album called Gasms.
Yeah.
Smokey is 82 years old.
Did you see the track list?
Yes. Did you see it?
Yes, I did. Okay. He said I fit in there. It was all that.
That's one of the tracks. I fit in there. You fill me up. Roll around. I want to know your body. And before I know, right?
Sure.
He coming with all that granny break hip energy. And
right.
But what I was saying before you came on is that, you know, if he's trying to sing the grannies, he better watch out because these grannies nowadays are 30 and 40 years old. And
he's about as old as the Grammy. Mm-hmm. So, you know, like, I mean, I feel like, you know, Smokey, you know, if he got his Niagara, you know, his Cialis, you know, and he still want to be out here, you know, trying to you know, get his thing going on. You know, I feel like he should be able to. This man wrote tracks of my tears, so he should be able to still get some pussy just off that, based off that.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Smokey gonna get that ass. He you know, he 82 years old. I know there's another 82-year-old ready to just throw their panties on stage when he.
Oh yeah, no, he probably could pull somebody maybe 45, 50.
Yes.
You know, he just needed him a nice young, I mean, in his case, 50, a nice little fit 50-year-old, fit fine.
Yes. And they say
he's over here, lady, and, you know, she keep him on his toes, probably.
Yeah, he said he's going to be at Essence Fest this year. So that's going to be fun to watch with him. Right? But
I mean, I want to see it, you know, because Isley, the Isley brothers came out. No, Ron Isley, he came out with some little, I think a little song or something. He trying to rap on it with Rick Ross or something. That sounds crazy.
Lord.
Yeah, it's like
he always doing something. He's always doing something. In other news, y'all, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees actually came out. And some of the folks on that list, we love. Missy Elliott made the nominee list this year. Yeah, George Michael is on the list this year. They're not in just yet, but you know these are the nominees. Smokey Robinson,
George Michael from Wham.
Yeah, from Wham.
Okay, yeah, I fucked with him. Yeah.
George Michael, Sheryl Crow, Iron Maiden. Cyndi Lauper is on the list. Okay. Willie Nelson. I figured people like Willie Nelson and Cyndi Lauper, I figured they'd already be in. But I said, some Another notable name on this list, A Tribe Called Quest is on the list, along with Rage Against the Machine. So these are all sort of groups, I grew up listening to. Iron Maiden is on there, which I figured Iron Maiden was already in there. I don't really watch it that much, but another group, because we were talking about Smokey Robinson. Another old group in here is the Spinners, which is an old doo-wop R&B group.
Yeah, Motown.
Yeah, so definitely the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame can be commended for its
they're nominated. It sounds like a lot of these people should have been there already, but congratulations.
I don't know how the votes go, but like Tony said, Willie Nelson got my vote.
Oh yeah.
And Miss Candy, I don't know what you're looking for, but I hope you never find it.
I'm looking for my chapstick. I feel like my lips are so dry. Like I'm looking for.
Ain't not nobody looking at your lips.
I feel like they're just crusting as I speak. Hold on, I know it's in here somewhere. Oh, it's in my pocket. Okay, but yeah, I found it.
So, what's Baby Yoda got in it today?
Well, Baby Yoda is taking a break. I'm actually smoking some sour diesel here.
Okay.
I believe that's what this is. Same old. Get 5 blunt. It's got me, going. It's got me, my juices flowing. So I had a little hit of pen earlier. We didn't know what was in it. But it was like it got me real mellow. So
all right, How many points did you give it?
I would give it 4.5. Right. I would give it a 4.5.
Give it a 4.5. Okay, all right. I see that. Sour Diesel is one of my good one of my brands. And when I first started getting into smoking and learning about strains and everything, Sour Diesel was one of the first I tried. I love it. Sour Diesel is also one of those everyday smokes. You can smoke it anytime. Every day. It's a regular. You can smoke it every day. Because there are some strains that you just can't smoke every day if you want to function.
No, not if you want to. You got shit to do, like, and like I hate that. Like when I have to, and I'll just like, no, I'm just sit here.
Like I'm good. I'm good right now. Yeah. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Man, that is strong. I'm getting high, so I'm gonna put this out, y'all.
Okay, now what is that? I think you did the strain of the week, right? Is that the strain of the week?
The strain of the week was wedding cake, which is a cross between Girl Scout cookies and cherry pie.
Yeah.
It is an indica. One of the things that I did like about it is that let me go ahead and pull up some stuff here.
Okay.
Tony, I'm gonna need you to calm down. It's uplifting, and it gives you a euphoric high. It gives you a relaxing body buzz too. But when I've smoked this before, and the batch I had, it laid me out. I mean, they say you can sit back and watch a movie.
It's an indica, ain't it? I mean, it's an indica, so you usually don't do those. So I can see it like having you out.
Yeah, it's an indica, so it's gonna put me down. I'm gonna get some. I think my girl has some, so I might get a little from her and smoke it out and see how it works out. Review it for next week. It's not something I would smoke on the show, y'all. Or I'll be lean like, yeah, y'all,
all the way,
just all the way leaning. But that's what I was talking about. Tony says he's the horny pothead, which is like, what's new, Tony? What's new? Right. What's new now? Now that Miss Candy is here, we're gonna talk about something that has gotten me exhausted the last few days. So much so that I had first, until our production meeting last night, I said I wasn't going to talk about it because I was tired of talking about it. I cut off everybody who wanted to talk about it this weekend. And that is the Tyree Nichols murder case. And for those who don't know, and I don't know why you wouldn't, because it's been on the news all week. And Tyree Nichols was a young man who was killed by what they said at least 5 police officers in Memphis. I believe it happened last month, but the video was just released last Friday. Now, we can talk about all the things regarding race and, police brutality and race, but we're going to attack it from another angle here, in which we had the 5 police officers have been held accountable. 5 of them have been arrested, have been fired from the force and arrested. And the accountability train has started. And that's where also a little bit of controversy takes place too. Now, before I go on, y'all, I want to mention this to you. We see this stuff all the time, and I want to say protect your mental, y'all. I have not watched the video. I've seen clips of it. I've seen screen captures of it, or just pictures from it. And like I said, I haven't been wanting to talk about it, but after our production meeting last night, we decided to go from a different angle, as well as me watching some of the stories and reading some of the stories surrounding this. But I'm gonna tell you this, folks, before I get on about the police, you do not have to watch it. You are not obligated to watch this video. And I'm saying just protect your mental. We don't have to keep watching this stuff over and over again. It's not like your black card is going to be taken or your ally card is going to be taken because you didn't watch this video.
Right.
Don't. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I don't want to tell you to watch the video because I can't watch the video myself. My good friend Tony started to talk about it this weekend. Told him I couldn't talk about it. I'm exhausted, y'all. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna take it from a different angle. Some of y'all might want to talk about the whole brutality thing. Then, if so, go see your favorite podcast about that. Here, it's a heavy subject, but I'm still keep it real. But I'm not gonna get into the real big nuances of it. Because I just don't have the spoons for it. But most definitely, y'all, that doesn't mean I don't care. That doesn't mean we don't care. Right. We're not as angry or as rageful as you think. It's just the fact that I'm exhausted, y'all. And that's just me personally. I'm just exhausted. And
it happens so much. Like, you don't want to get sensitized to it. But mentally, my mental bandwidth, I got a whole lot going on this period. Like, I can't, really mentally look at that right now. It just, all it's going to do is get me angry and make my blood pressure rise. And, like, there's nothing that I feel like I can do within my power to change at this point. Because it, we're watching it live happening in front of us, and there's nothing that is changing. I don't know what needs to change at this point. Like, protesting obviously isn't doing anything. Unfortunately, we just need. I believe Kamala Harris today proposed the Floyd. Oh my God, not Mayweather. Floyd. George Floyd Act.
Yes, George Floyd Act. Yeah.
Yes, I don't. I just heard about it. I didn't look into it. I just saw it in passing on Instagram.
Uh-huh.
But I want to say that that's maybe in light of this.
Uh-huh.
I like I said, I can't watch it either. I don't want to watch it. I just feel
Yes.
like, it was senseless. I don't understand how a traffic stop ever turns into this. Like it just, I don't understand why this even happened. Like it's stupid.
Yes, and that's the thing, because that's what we're talking about. We want to talk about the accountability, and I'm going to talk about what I'm happy for. I am happy that it was quickly taken care of. I was happy that those who are in this video are fired, are on their way to have been arrested, and the accountability has started. Since the original 5 guys have come, more have been fired. 2 other officers have been fired, as well as 3 EMTs or 2 MTs and their lieutenant, who were on the scene and responded. And y'all, I'm happy for that. I am so happy for that. I am glad these people are going to be brought to justice swiftly. I'm glad there wasn't any waffling. Oh, we got to see the context. We got to investigate. I'm sure there was an investigation. I'm happy for that. And you know what? Y'all can be happy for that. On the other end, there's 2 other things. I want to see this energy next time. Let's hope that the action here, sets the example of how this should be done. You know what I mean? And I hope that the same energy is given when it happens again. And I know some folks are out there saying, oh, you want it to happen again? I don't want it to happen again. But let's be clear. We know it's going to happen again. And at 49 years old, friends, my first videotape beating was Rodney King. And some of the screen caps, some of the things that people have been describing, I'm getting that same type of vibe from this case. And it just leads me to believe, why hasn't anybody been listening the last 30 years? I've been doing some of the stuff here. There's been a lot of music written about this type of thing. Ice Cube, Jay-Z, Public Enemy, KRS-One. They all speak. Yeah. They speak to the type of police brutality that we see in this video. They speak to that. And, why are we still here 30 years later? Remember, Rodney King was just a traffic stop. And it was literally caught by accident.
This is back in 92. So, just who carried? You just have to think of the times back then. Nobody just was driving around with a V8 with one of those big ass old school VHS cameras back then, because that's what that was caught on, or something similar.
Exactly.
And if we know it's happened before, that was just the first time that we saw it in black and white. Exactly. I remember I was very young when that happened. I was only 8. But as a direct result of that, the riot. So it's just, I'm turning 39 this month. So it's from that age to being 40 and still seeing the same stuff over and over again. And it keeps happening over and over again. Like, I don't know what else we need to do.
Exactly. Now, I haven't read up on that act Kamala Harris is talking about. Or you talked about with Kamala Harris. I'm going to actually look it up after the show here.
Okay.
Now, on the flip side of that, we cannot ignore the fact that why so fast? When we
I
look
mean,
at
it's the elephant in the room. You
yeah,
know, I mean, I feel like they kind of played in our face with that, even though
yes,
I think people, you know, when you say stuff like that, I think people think you know, you're conflating the issues. But
yes,
I think that it's not going unnoticed
yes,
that,
exactly.
you know, that these officers, you know, were black men,
Yes.
all 5 of them.
Mhm. 3 of them were
Submitted.
Omegas. 3 of them were
Yeah,
Omegas. And
3
if
of
y'all
them.
don't know, Omega is a fraternity.
Yeah, it's a very
And
popular black fraternity, HBCU.
now
Um,
I do find, like I said, like you said last night in the production meeting, you find it just as peculiar as everyone else's how fast this occurred. There were no suspension.
Administrative
There's
pay,
no
put you
administrative
on a
leave
desk
with
while we
pay.
investigated.
Yeah. Now, two
Just
officers were suspended with pay pending a hearing before they were just flat out fired.
mm-hmm.
But we do know that situation too. That's something that we're used to seeing. But
Right.
these guys were fired. These guys were arrested and booked. And I don't know what else is going on. I don't know if they bailed out or are they still being held on murder charges, folks. On murder charges.
I believe a few of them did. I think one was still.
Mm-hmm.
Last I read, I was trying to kind of avoid, you know, just updates on it. Like I just, you know, like I really have been having to actively, not really, you know, aside from just, you know, the bare, you know, headline and
Mm-hmm.
maybe a couple, you know, like I just don't want to put
Mm-hmm.
myself through that. And I know it's selfish to say, kind of, you know,
Yeah.
because
It's not,
his family sure doesn't want to, you
you know,
know, who feels the same way. Um,
self-care is never something you should apologize for. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You know, it's not something you should ever apologize for because you got to look out for you got to look out for you. You know what I mean? But in regards to this case, we already know that the police chief has lied a couple of times. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with the transparency, but we know that
Because
they were
you talking about the black lady, right?
yes,
What's her name? Glass.
yes.
I think her name is
And
Glass.
some people are jumping on her. The conservatives are jumping on her, and I'm not trying to bring that in here. Tony said they are all out right now on bail.
Oh, okay.
But
Everybody's out. Okay.
it goes back to how fast is this going to happen. We do know that these 5 officers are black. The chief is black, and it speaks to how sometimes people of color and marginalized people cannot separate themselves from their people.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, you know, sometimes they can say, hey, these are not police. These are not our folks. Those folks acted individually. Whereas sometimes we have to carry the burden of our whole entire diaspora. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
it is the elephant in the room. Nobody wants to address it. Some folks are ignoring it. Some folks are hitting it head on. But
Mm-hmm.
we are allowed, and those who are conflicted, we are allowed to be happy that they're going to jail or going to be held accountable. But we can also be upset at the swiftness and the fact that all of a sudden the action was taking without weeks or months of investigations and administrative paid leave for these guys just to come back, or these guys getting fired and then
Reassigned or
no charges have been filed.
relocated, you know.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So I really, y'all, I can tell you right now, these guys are going to get convicted. Don't
Oh yeah.
Don't get me wrong. They're going to get convicted,
And they should. They
rightfully
should.
so. They should.
They definitely should.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, there was just no cause for any of that. Like,
yes.
I mean, why can't we just arrest people and take them to jail? Like, if you felt like, I mean, again, now granted, I didn't see the tape. I just don't, from what
Yes.
I understand, whatever it was, it didn't warrant that. It didn't warrant that man not.
And we also
stay in court.
Yeah. And like I said, I want the same energy the next time it happens. And when it comes, and Tony said it, Tony did say it. If they were 100%, if they were white, this would have got dragged out.
Of course.
And we know that. And I'm trying to stay away from that part of it because some of the touchy part of it is they say, some say there was black officers now. How can this be racist? And I'm not talking about that because I have and always will be against police brutality, no matter who does it, no matter who is the one being attacked. I'm always be against police brutality, no matter what.
We've seen, it hasn't. I mean, now granted, it tends to mostly be, people that look like you and me. But there was a situation last year where there was a young white guy, I believe, up north in Oregon or something, or
Idaho. I can't remember either. I remember that story.
Yeah, and he was afraid to get out of his car. Yes. For whatever reason, he stayed in his car. They asked him to, and he said he didn't feel safe because of the way things were happening, and he was by himself, and they wound up killing him. So it's like people are, the police aren't the end all be all. You guys enforce the law, like that's what you're supposed to do. But we, the people, still have rights. We're the ones that pay you guys' fucking salaries. Like we're the ones that do have some type of say so. Yes. And we elect our sheriffs, we have that power. Exactly. And I just feel like they need to do a little bit more evaluating of these people that they hire. I remember talking to you yesterday in production about the lady they left in Colorado. Yes. They left her in the back of it. It was a roadway incident. They stopped her on the tracks, train tracks. The train is coming. Yeah. She's in handcuffs in back of the car. Whose ever car?
They stopped. The cops stopped on the tracks. They stopped on the tracks. They then proceeded to put her in custody, and then they put her in the car that was on the tracks, which was crazy.
And the train is actively coming 16 seconds after the train blew the horn. Yes. They jumped out the way and they left her in the back of the car handcuffed, and the train hit the car, and she was severely injured for that. Yeah. Like, who is protecting us if we can't? Why would you leave her in the back of the fucking car? Exactly. And why would you put on the train tracks? What is wrong with you? Like, who does that? And I just feel like we need a little bit more like it. Why is it takes 4 years to be like 6 years to be a lawyer? 12 years to be a doctor. Yeah. Like it takes 5-6 months in academy. Like you don't even know these people.
Exactly. With in a lot of these jurisdictions, you just got to graduate high school. Just got to be 18.
Yeah, just 18, fresh out of high school. Like you 6 months in academy, and they've never been in any actual situation where or 9 times out of 10 they didn't grow up in the area that they're policing, or so they don't know. They just think that all these people are thugs, and I just don't understand what's happening. Like what is going on? Who is supposed to? Who am I supposed to call and be okay and making sure that I get up out of whatever, like whatever jam I'm in.
Exactly. Now, Tony made the point that police enforce laws that they make up as they go. And that comes from, like you said, we got to know our rights. We got to know our rights. We got to know the law. We don't have to know the laws verbatim, but if it doesn't sound right, y'all, then we have to question it. I'm gonna say this because this was told to me. It's when you're getting a ticket on a traffic stop, that's not the time. That's not the time to contest the law.
Don't bring up the law at that point. Just like
get sign off on this and go to court.
Yeah, like if it's some like little BS stuff, then just like I mean, and it could potentially turn because you got to think they come in at least the way that Metro just pull they act like all the Metro got to come and pull up behind you, behind traffic stop. It's like why is it 3 or 4 cops here? That's all this shit going on in the city out here. Like
for
officer flag.
My tail light is out. Why you bring the whole force?
I'm sure somebody's actively trying to rob a casino out here. Like, why are y'all? I mean, I'm gonna get my damn tax fixed, but leave me alone.
And that's right. In order to be an officer and a good one, you should have schooling in criminal law, family law, and mental health.
Like some sort of like evaluation or like annual eval. Like, and also like it wouldn't help to be a little bit in shape, like some of these, like older cops, they I mean, like you can't chase after these people like this,
exactly.
Like it doesn't help, like I mean it helps to be just mentally, physically, emotionally prepared for all this stuff.
Exactly. And as we learn, some of these people are very unstable to begin with. But I'm gonna say this. This is probably the last I'll say for it tonight. I do believe there needs to be police reform. I'm not saying defund the police. I'm not saying get rid of the police. What I'm saying is that there need to be police reform. And how police do their job to make people, just everybody, feel comfortable when they are interacting with a police officer. And I hope this law that Kamala Harris makes sure that it's a blanket law, so there's a foundation for cops everywhere that they should follow when they are interacting with the public. You know what I mean? That has to happen. I want more transparency. And I want more truth to come out. And folks, let's stop with the rumors going around too. If it's not from a trusted source, I don't want you posting it, people. Don't post it.
Yeah. I don't want about somebody he was messing with somebody's baby mama or something like that. Like, yes. I mean, like, come on now. Like,
yes.
Just like the facts are the facts. Like, just. Like some stuff.
Exactly. And with that, y'all, we're gonna move on. We're gonna give you updates or major updates as they occur. And they have to be major, not the same old stuff we're hearing every day.
Yeah, I'm not keeping up with it like that. I just I'm just glad that they're getting justice because they justice.
Exactly. Now changing gears here, and going on with weed culture, and we're aging potheads. And one of the things we're going to talk about is there's misconceptions about potheads all the way around, and it runs the gamut, and it makes it look like potheads are these fiends. And if y'all remember back in the 30s, Reefer Madness, they said marijuana made you loose, and it made black men monsters, and they were gonna rape and pillage
go raping.
Yeah, exactly. Now, one of the things they say is marijuana users are lazy and unproductive. Let me tell you something. I'm a business owner. Miss Candy's a business owner. We work very hard. Tony, who used to be our producer, he does everything. He runs his own business, his own photography business, his own website business. He still works. You know what I mean? He still has a 9-to-5, and we're all potheads. So to say, and we put on a show every week.
Yes.
So to say we are lazy and unproductive, that hurts my feelings, y'all. That hurts my feelings.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's not feeling dead over here. excellent adventure. Like, you know, and I mean, some people do have, I guess it does have that effect on, but like, I'm probably more productive. When I, you know, it's not like I'm taking a whole blunt down before work or anything like that. You know, like it's just little, you know, 2 puffs, you know, just to get me going. And then I'm good, you know, and then when I get home, I can, you know, really decompress and, you know, enjoy the rest of my night. And, you know, so it's not like, you know, an all day. And even if it is like when I'm really chilling, you know, like I'm still able to get the things that I need to get done.
Yes.
So yeah, like after this, I got to go do a notary. So I mean,
and Tony says, "I'm productive. I produce 9 kids."
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, I mean that is pretty productive.
That's very productive.
But, you know, that's another myth. They said, what is the lowest sperm count? That's obviously not true.
Now, another one we have here is marijuana use could lead to harder drugs. I'm gonna tell you this, folks. I've tried some hard drugs. I've tried coke. I've tried a couple of other things. But let me tell you, when I'm smoking weed, I don't ever sit here and say, you know what? I bet you a line of coke will get me higher than this.
Yeah, like when I mean, when I'm either doing weed is always the base. Like I mean, and I've tried other stuff too. But I probably won't smoke the weed if I am doing other because I just don't. Nobody needs to be that fucking high. Like you just don't need to be that high. Like, I mean, you know,
but
you can get.
You ain't never sat there and just said, "Hey, I want to do a line,"
or "Hey, I want to
smoke some crack."
You know? Right? Let me go ahead. You know what? This weed is so bomb. I think I'll shoot. I'll
shoot some heroin.
Right.
Another one, and this one really pisses me off. Marijuana users are criminals. I know doctors, lawyers, policemen, people who work all these fields. And you know what, Candy? I know what you're finna get to, but really, you didn't sit up there.
I can't. I'm not. You see, I didn't say nothing. I just was like, I mean, you know, like.
But it wasn't the cause of your activity. You know what I mean?
It wasn't the cause of it, no. But it was.
It's not like you know. It's not like how crackheads and heroin addicts start stealing. That is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is something totally different. No, it wasn't anything that made me do anything.
Yeah. And when I was doing this last night, I thought about that too, and I said, you know what? And it's a good point that Tony just said. Before it was recreational, it was kind of criminal at that time, but it didn't make you a criminal. It was just one of the things. It was just one of the things that happened to occur. You know, there's a lot of. I mean, I know you and Tony have your past, but what's the first thing they do in prison? You smoke. You know, can we make that same correlation that all smokers are criminals? You know,
no.
You know.
No, I mean that's just not true. Like they're not saying that's marijuana users are criminals. That's like saying marijuana users is synonymous with being a criminal, and that's not true. As you said, there's plenty of functional people who go to work every day who are active users. Exactly. Right, and there are people that have, you know, but it you know, it's that it's you know, those kinds of things are just exceptions to you know, whatever rule.
Now, another misconception here, and we're on number 4, y'all. We're going over 5 misconceptions about potheads. Another one is marijuana has no medicinal benefits, and we all know that to be not to be true at this point, because before it became legal in most states, it was medicinal.
Yeah, it was legal. It became legal for medicinal use first. Yes. So, and then everybody had to go get a little, you know,
get a card, and they say it helps with things like epilepsy, glaucoma, multiple sclerosis, anxiety, depression. You know, it covers with all that. Again, this is crazy. There are medicinal benefits, y'all. Those who have this negative thing about potheads, y'all need to read a book. Y'all need to look up and read a book, read a report, and just notice. You know, you can see us here. We're potheads. We're business owners. We do this every day. You know what I mean? I smoke every day. You know what I mean? So it's not something that I believe, you know, you guys, folks, you need to learn. Do the research. And the fifth one here is all marijuana is the same. And every week we tell you not all marijuana is the same. Every week, we smoke different strains, and then we have a strain of the week. So y'all, that's 3 different strains right there every week that we bring you. So there, even sativas. I'm a sativa person. I like smoking sativas and sativa dominant hybrids, and they all hit different. And I keep these things like somebody might say it's all sativa. Why did you get 3 sativas? Because they all have different effects. Like this daydream,
they all have the same things in them. You know, like
this daydream. I know I can probably smoke this and watch TV or play my little phone game, and I'm gonna be okay. Or I can straighten up my room. You know what I mean? And when I know I need to think. Another sativa, which is Jack Herrera, which is my favorite and my go-to. That's something I know I can, you know, I feel the high, but I don't feel the high. I know I'm high. It allows me to do things and function normally. One thing I don't do, and everybody knows this, I don't drive while I'm high. And y'all shouldn't either. But some folks do.
Y'all should.
Yeah, but you shouldn't. And I don't. Just based on the type of work I do, I just won't. But all marijuana is not the same. They have strains. I mean, they have what they call CBD, where it has no THC in it, but it still has the medicinal benefits.
But you still get the relaxing benefits of, you know, you just get the relaxation of weed without the high.
Exactly.
And it, you know, that's perfect too. Sometimes, you know, you just want to relax. Now, don't want to be high, so or the high is too much for people.
Exactly. Now, what happened here is, you know, I really didn't watch nothing this week. I watched a couple of animes that I'll review next week. I know some of y'all don't like animes, but I do, so y'all gonna have to put up with me. But Candy said she watched Madoff, the Monster of Wall Street on Netflix. Now, how was that?
Very informative. It was really good. I enjoyed it. It was a 4-part series. About an hour or so, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. I gave it 5 blunts. It was, you know, I had read a little bit about the Enron scandal. I don't know if everybody remembers that about 20 years ago. He was kind of part of that, but he hadn't been. This was before he was actually prosecuted. But it was basically like you have to think the name Bernie Madoff.
Bernie Madoff
has been around for a long time. He helped institute the NASDAQ. We know as the stock market today. A lot of that was influenced or curated behind him.
Yes.
So, you know, we're talking about a man whose legacy has spanned decades.
Yes.
And his empire, you know, like at some point became too big to fail.
Yes.
You know, if you guys are familiar with the Madoff scandal, it was basically a Ponzi scheme, $1 billion Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
He was taking money from investors to pay other people, and that's not
what cool. He was supposed to be doing. And like you said, he's been doing this for decades. Without giving it all away, y'all run over to Netflix, check that out. Because Candy gave me all the rundown last night. She was high during the production. Yeah. I said, man, when she high, when she on that stuff, she just. And I was like, I'm gonna just talk because I was like, I know she just want to get this out. So I said, let me go ahead and let this woman talk. You know.
I was at my friend's house, so I was, we all had been drinking anyway, so I was loaded. But
no judgment. I get it. No judgment. I get it. Now, what you did also watch too is the new Eddie Murphy movie.
You
People. That's also on Netflix. Now you said you gave that 3.5 blunts.
I did.
Without telling us, let us know about the movie.
The premise is basically it's starring Jonah Hill and oh my gosh, why can't I think of the young lady's name right now? Nunu from
Lauren London.
Lauren London. Oh my God, I'm high. Lauren London. They're basically from two different backgrounds. Eddie Murphy and Nia Long plays her parents. Julia Louis-Dreyfus and David Duchovny plays his parents, which is odd to me because Jonah Hill looks at least about 47. It's kind of a who's coming to dinner kind of premise. Jonah's family is obviously Jewish, and her family is Islam, Muslim. So you can just see, it's all the antics that go on with that. Kenya Barris directed it. Ronan directed. He's kind of come under fire for a few things as far as his casting. Or his preferral of using mixed or light-skinned or mixed basically actors.
Ghetto came out. You said light-skinned.
Light-skinned, mixed actors for black roles. Some people argue that that's kind of been a misrepresentation of the African American family on TV. So I gave it 3.5 because it was just to me it wasn't like they made his family seem so like blatantly tone deaf about like everything that you could say to a black person to offend them under the guise of, well, I didn't know, it was very like in your face, and even like the militancy and the aggressiveness of which they were just shoving it in your face. It kind of got uncomfortable. It wasn't really funny.
It was off-putting. It went from fun to making
off-putting because it's like you wouldn't say this at somebody's house that you were invited to. Like you wouldn't say that. Well enough to not say these things. Exactly. And they were just trying to just be really in your face with the I guess the stereotypical why this family
exactly. So you don't think it? You don't think it? Now let me ask you this: do you think? Now Kenya Barris said he wanted to keep this conversation going about interracial relationships, which next week I think we'll talk about since it'll be our Valentine's show. I don't, from what you said and from what I've heard from other people, it's not furthering the conversation. Like you said, it's making.
It wasn't like he's just sitting there babbling off about things that one scene was him meeting her parents and him just babbling off all this black. He's supposed to be some hipster woke Jew. His best friend is this lesbian black lady. Like it's very so
all the bases.
like, and then Eddie Murphy takes him to like some hood. He's wearing a red hoodie. Takes him to this barbershop in the Crip neighborhood. Like it didn't even like some of the stuff was kind of pointless. And I just didn't, and also I didn't buy Jonah Hill and Lauren London's relationship in the.
You didn't buy it, huh?
Yeah, like it just wasn't. Not saying that, I mean, to me, I just wasn't buying them as a couple. And I mean, I like Jonah Hill; he's funny. Lauren London, I feel like her range is just non-existent. I just feel like. I just felt like whatever. I mean, it really didn't. I mean, some parts were funny.
Yeah.
But I just feel like a lot of the things that they were trying to shoot out there were just unnecessary.
Exactly. So now, what do you got? What are you guys watching? What are y'all watching? Let us know. Leave a comment. Let us know if you're watching it on the repeat. I mean, just let us know. Now, before we get out of here, I do have a slight munchie review. What is our go-to? Yeah, because it's actually a drink. It's called Splash Fizz. Now, if y'all remember, a few weeks ago, I had reviewed a non-carbonated version of this, which is basically water with different flavors. And it's very good. This one was the same. I believe I had given this one. I gave this one 4.5 stars or 4. Let me remember, y'all. I'm a pothead. But I believe I gave it 4.5 too, because it's good. But one, they only sell them individually, and 2, they are still kind of pricey.
How much was it? What size bottle is that?
This is a 20 ounce bottle. It costs as much as a normal soda, which is about $2 now.
Soda just
I know, right?
Every time I go to 7-Eleven and I think I run in there with $2 and the shit is like $2.50.
Yeah.
$2.75 for.
And 7-Eleven is priced. 7-Eleven is priced for you to buy 2. You gotta buy 2. There's no way you get away with it. You gotta buy 2.
Yeah, you just got to. They have that 2 for 4. All right. Because if I buy one, it's gonna cost damn near that anyway. So
they say it's $2.99. They say it's $2.99, or you can get 2 for 4. I might as well just pay that extra $1 and get 4, because it's gonna make me feel better. Because I'm not gonna pay $3 for a 20 ounce soda. Yeah. And it's killing me, because I remember just like, man, if I gotta pay this much, I'll just go get a 2-liter. But a 2-liter,
a 2-liter, but the 2-liter isn't as mobile as the, like. Yeah. I mean, there's levels to like the Coke I drink anyway. Like the best Coke is like the canned Coke, and then McDonald's Coke, and then bottle Coke, and then everybody else Coke after that. Like it's levels to the Coke.
Exactly. But I did get this 4.5 blunts. It was nice. I liked it. 4.5 blunts. 5 if I can find. I'll probably run over to Costco and see if they got, the business, the big one of it. The reason I like this, as well as the non-carbonated ones, is that I'm not drinking enough water, and these things really taste good. They do taste like, this is lemonade, but I've tasted other ones like black cherry and blood orange. They actually taste like soda. But they're not. They're not. It's actually water. I love these things, and my girl buys them every time she's at the store. I really do like these things. Like I said, the only reason I didn't give it 5 was because of that, y'all.
Yeah. They have another kind that I like to drink too. It's like a water, but it's a sparkling water, like a flavored water like that. Yeah. Very low calorie, like 5 calories. So when I feel like I'm drinking too much soda, I mean, I drink water every day anyway, but sometimes I every now and again I drink. If I don't have water with me, I'll drink soda. Like I'm trying to get away from that. So
exactly, I get it. Now, y'all, we are here at the end of the show. I know Candy came a little bit late, but she always on time. They love when you show up. They hate seeing you go. You know. But y'all, we love y'all. We want to thank you for joining and come smoking with us. As always, at the end of our show, if you guys are ever in crisis, and you're starting to have these thoughts about ending your life or just hurting yourself or hurting others, pick up that phone and dial 988, y'all. Please go ahead and do that for us. And like I said, I want y'all all here every week to watch us. So it's kind of selfish, but then it's not, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, like, come on now, like if you, exactly.
But y'all, we have Miss Candy here. Thank you, Tony, for keeping the comments hot. Thank you for everybody who's watching us across the different platforms. That is the beautiful Miss Candy. I am Big Brother Boss, aka the Funky Monk. We are the Aging Potheads. We are here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Make sure you join us. Make sure you medicate, and as always, friends, stay lifted. We're out of here.
Stay lifted. Good night, guys. Thank you.
Good night, y'all. Oh.